Yeah, and this take of Joni, which is a older composition of mine that we originally recorded on the Trio Live album, always had something like a morning vibe to me. We did other takes of this song. No, we didn't actually. This is only this is the first take. For the Ascent record, for the session, I mean, we recorded so many songs, and I like that. I like to have the choice afterwards to really see after the recording session what the album wants to be, or what I want the album to be like. So in the past years, I have been recording more material than I want to release, and then see how I can form the album. So after I found an order for Ascent or a collection of pieces, I felt like there's some more that I really would like to release, and this is why we decided to release another EP with 4 more tracks from the recording session with my trio and Nelson Veras. So this is an older piece, and it's dedicated obviously to Joni Mitchell. When I wrote this melody, I felt like I liked the childlike quality of the melody. The thing that's written in the bass or in the left hand of the piano here on the sheet is something that reminded me of Joni also. And also I like the vibe of the quartet somehow discovering the piece. We didn't really have... I think that's actually one of the suggestions I had when we played this. Let's try to discover the piece, which was easy for Nelson because I think he didn't know it really. I mean, we've been playing this song for a long time, and I just gave it to Nelson before the session. It's 3 tonalities, major tonalities, E, G, and E flat, and then you morph into a 4th tonality, which is a minor chord, A minor, which we're in right now, which has been borrowing a bass groove from an older piece called Desire of mine. Desire. And also in this piece there's a hint and a callback to another piece of mine called Terra. I like to do that quite often to put some links to older pieces of mine into a song. So it's the A minor tonality again. And back to the top. Oh no, back to the top now. Now, this is something that we have been doing with the trio also in the past years, borrowing this rhythmic figure from the last vamp, the A minor vamp from the end of the piece, and then take that further into through the other chords of the piece. Now I'm hinting Stubborn, which is another piece of mine. It's so great to play melodies together with Nelson in unison. I just love the sound of piano and acoustic guitar together. That's the little section from Terra. Piano intro the last 4 bars of the form of Medipack. I repeat them until we go to the top of the form. Medipack is a song that I wrote when I kind of had was kind of how do you call it? Burnt out a little bit. Actually, I was sick during the fall of, what was it, 2018. I was working so much, touring a lot, and teaching, and of course family, that at some point I just my body said stop it. So I was sick during a very stressful time. So I was lying in bed and couldn't really do anything. And at some point, after 2 days, I went for staff paper and a pen, and felt like, I want to just do something creatively, or just do something. Let's try to write a song. So I wrote a song that, I'd like to do that actually quite often, write a song without being at the piano, just with pen and paper. And this song helped me to recover, actually. Through the act of doing something creative, I kind of gained my power back. And this made me think of, me and the guys from the trio, Robert and Jonas, we like to play video games a lot. And Medipack is obviously a term that is quite well known for gamers, because it helps you regain your health in battle. So I thought that was a fitting title. And actually the coda to me felt like a bar, something that is filling up, something that is regaining its strength. You'll hear it when we get there. So I just talked through one of the great solos by Robert. I'm sorry. But you can listen to the record. And it's also nice, there's a lot of complicated songs on Ascend, and also, the next song on this EP is also quite complicated, but this is just more like a lead sheet type of song. 20 bar form. And when we played live, this was also a nice contrast between the other pieces. We also played this with Jorge Rossi, actually, live, with the trio, Jorge Rossi on vibes. He also did a great job at playing this song. Actually, when I wrote it, I thought a little bit about Jorge's quintet with Al Foster and Peter Bernstein, Doug Weiss, and Mark Turner. I actually thought, how would it sound if those guys played the song? And Jorge, I think he could see the connection. I love the way there's some comps behind me. Back to the melody. I recorded this song with Billy Hart together. It's great how he approached it. now we're working towards the coda, and this is what I was talking about before. Something that is rising and uplifting. Yeah, and this figure is kind of displaced, so it's sometimes hard to really get the bass figure at the right time. We were struggling with this a little bit, but we managed. I think this is the last time until we head out. Yeah. Elevate was originally written for a live date of my concert series Pablo Held Meets in Cologne, where I invited Robert Stillman, Jorge Rossi and Matthias Pichler to play with me, and this is one of the songs I wrote for them to play with me. I wanted to have something easy, but turned out not so easy, but they did a great job of playing that song. But after that concert, I kind of kept on working on that song, kept on adding things, changing the melody, changing certain parts. Wasn't really totally satisfied with it, and I kept on working on until the recording session came nearer. And then we kind of, we had a little tour before the recording session actually, and we already played it there. This is the last section before we move into an open E minor section where the blowing starts. Yeah. So here there's not really set who is gonna solo or how long the solo is gonna be. I think what we ended up doing is trading a little bit over the form, or just not playing over the whole form. The form, however, is set, and it always keeps on rotating, always keeps on repeating, but it isn't set where we kind of leave space for the other guy to play. So I'm wondering now what's gonna happen. Yeah, Robert is sticking to that march-like quarter note feel that has also led us into this song. Which I always like when we as players, we're moving to the next section. I like when we stick to or use the composition of material as a springboard for improvisation, keep reintroducing it also during the solo. It kind of reminds you about the song you're playing. I think Nelson is taking over. It says D flat minor here, but I love what Nelson and the guys are playing is, it's related to D flat minor, but it's reaching somewhere else. I like that. And I think, now I'm taking over from Nelson. Could have left him a little bit more space here. I think in that moment I actually thought I'm gonna take over and then he's gonna take over again, but I think he doesn't do it. I guess there's a lesson to be learned. I mean, you can't really predict how things are gonna happen or how somebody else perceives a certain action. We're back into the top of the form. Yeah, back into the melody. So Descent, the name of the EP and the name of this next song was actually an improvisation that happened during one of our trio concerts. It was a concert at Alte Oper in Frankfurt. And I usually record the concerts, most of them at least. And I recorded this one. So there was a moment when Robert and Jonas were more into playing sounds and textures, and I played around with an idea that I had in that moment. And when I listened to it then, and also in that moment, I felt like, oh, this is nice. What's happening here? So I listened back, and I felt like this could be more than just that moment. Whenever I improvise, I try obviously to play something that is as how should I say it? I try to improvise in a compositional manner. So this is always the goal for me, to play something that sounds composed maybe, or has the quality of something that could be a composition. So when I listened back, I felt like, okay, I don't know, maybe I have to follow something here. So I transcribed this improvisation, which I rarely do. So, or maybe I've never done it like that. So I transcribed this improvisation, and I thought maybe for this audio commentary, it might be a good idea to listen to the original recording from the trio gig in Frankfurt. So here we go. So what I've just talked about before is the compositional quality of something that is improvised. Maybe it comes from me sticking to one thing, which is playing, I think, octaves in the left hand and sixths in the right hand. That wasn't a sixth, and that was the third. But you get the idea. I mean, it's two notes in the right hand. At that time, I had been listening to Henry Threadgill a lot, and I was really, really inspired by his music. And I thought of him a little bit in that moment. Sometimes thinking of somebody can give you an inspiration to go to a certain place that you wouldn't maybe normally end up in. So this was just a tiny moment inside of a maybe hour-long set or something, and I remembered it after the concert even that there was a moment like this where I want to go back and listen to that and see how that sounded, and because sometimes it's, for us musicians, it's sometimes hard to get those two feelings in sync. the feeling of how it sounds, how it feels to you in the moment when you play it, and how it sounds afterwards when you listen back. You know, there might be moments where you feel like, oh, this was great, and it sounds so bad for you afterwards when you listen to it. It sounds like somebody's too full of himself, you know, enjoying himself too much and totally missing the point of what is actually happening in the music. Or you might be judging it and saying, this is so shitty. I'm playing all the wrong stuff, and you know, I'm so bad. And then you listen back to it and you feel like it's okay. It's maybe not your best or whatever. It's not what you aspire to in that moment, but there's totally stuff that has potential inside of there. So this is one of the reasons why I record our shows, and you know, whenever I play, quite often, because I want to get those feelings more in sync. So when I'm in the moment and I'm experiencing a moment where I'm maybe judging myself too much, I can go like, maybe I can ease myself and tell myself to chill out and say, it's gonna be okay. Don't judge it in the moment. Just make the best out of the situation. So, anyways, I went back and listened to it, and then I decided I need to transcribe this and see where this leads me. Maybe this leads me into something completely different, or this is a song. So it was kind of hard to see how I would write it down, because I approached it as, you know, I always transcribe songs by other people, learning about their music and trying to incorporate what I can get from getting to know their compositions. So I'm trying to get as close to how I think they wrote it down, which of course here is a not similar situation, but a different situation, because it's not written down. It was improvised. So I tried to make it as clear as possible, so I could give this to somebody else, meaning my trio guys and Nelson, and make them play it, and so it sounds as close to what I played there. And when I transcribed it, there were certain notes where I felt like, okay, maybe I should change this, and I didn't feel bad about doing that, because, you know, who cares? I mean, I improvised this in the moment. It does mean that I can change a little bit here and there and tweak certain things that I don't like. So I did that a little bit, but more or less I stayed true to what happened in that moment. So when it came to the recording session, I gave the guys the sheet music to this, already telling Robert and Jonas to, maybe do what you feel. And throughout the recording process, it actually went into a kind of a different situation than I envisioned it to be. But basically, Nelson and me play what I played during that improvisation, and we play it. I don't know if we even played it to a click or something, but I think we played it in duo first, and then Jonas did, and then Robert and Jonas played on top of that. So, and then afterwards, even we had our engineer, Oliver Bergner, who's a great sound engineer. When we mixed the record, we were doing a lot of things sonically to other pieces, post-production stuff that I already talked about in the audio commentary to Ascend. So we felt like on this song we could do something else also. So he changed the sound of the piano and the guitar, and also right before we settled on a take of me and Nelson playing that written out stuff, we decided that Robert is going to be soloing over this. And this is what you'll hear now. So let's go and listen to the final track of Descent. And I think, the sound that Oliver Bergner went for the piano and the guitar distortion or whatever he did. Always it sounds like a new instrument to me, and it reminds me a little bit of the Miss Marple soundtracks somehow. I don't know why, but and I love the little situation we created for Robert to shine. Just plays an incredible solo on there. I think he maybe just did one take. And I think also in the post-production stage we decided that we don't want to use the drums because they would took away attention from Robert soloing. So we took it away, but you can still hear a little bit of drums coming from Robert's bass mics. And yeah, that's it actually.